Good afternoon from a very, very sunny Belgrade, Yugoslavia, Serbia. This is a region that's been torn apart by bloody and pretty brutal conflicts, which hopefully we're going to learn about on our adventure throughout the former Yugoslavia.
Right, stop. Here's me trying to be all professional and set the scene by giving you an insight to the region, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not quite there yet in terms of my historical knowledge or filmmaking ability. So with the help of Google and a very popular AI chatbot, here is a quick overview of the history of socialist Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia first emerged after World War I in 1918 as the kingdom of Serbs, Croats and Slovenes, uniting several South Slavic territories. In 1929, it was renamed the Kingdom of Yugoslavia. After World War II, a new chapter began. Under Josip Broz Tito, Yugoslavia became a socialist federation in 1945, known as the Federal People's Republic of Yugoslavia. This federation included 6 republics: Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Montenegro, Macedonia and Serbia. Unlike other socialist states, Yugoslavia pursued self-management, independence from the Soviet Union, and played a leading role in forming the non-aligned movement. Tito's leadership brought stability and economic growth. But after his death in 1980, rising nationalism and economic challenges led to tensions. By the early 1990s, these tensions erupted into several regional conflicts, and Yugoslavia dissolved into separate independent nations, which have more or less ever since carved their own paths, such as in this case, Serbia. The video on Serbia was part of a wider Balkans trip, so I'd planned to make one big vlog, but that never really happened. I put this down to reasons around the sensitivities of filming the topic of the Yugoslav wars, which you'll see later on in this video. Now, I'd never intended to add a voiceover section to the video, but I felt like some historical context was important in just understanding the basic fundamentals of what Yugoslavia once was and its subsequent demise, as you'll understand with a very interesting conversation that I have with a taxi driver later on in the video. So enjoy this very surface level, watered down vlog on some of the Yugoslav sites that you can find in Belgrade.
But first off, we're starting off with something pretty light-hearted. An old Yugoslavian football rivalry. This is Belgrade Partizan, and as you can see, we're already starting off with some lovely little Yugoslavian heritage, the old broken steps. And we've got company.
Both Partizan and Red Stars, the Eternal Derby, both were founded in 1945, shortly after World War II, with Partizan being established by the Yugoslav People Army and Red Star by the United Alliance for Anti-Fascist Youth.
And that was Harry, giving us some nice little light-hearted intro.
Look at this idyllic scene, guys. We've got the Museum of Yugoslavia with the lovely mosaic, an old Zastava, I think it's called, Yugoslavian car, product of Yugoslavia. I'm going to go in. This is where Tito is buried. Josip Broz Tito, the leader of Yugoslavia. And it was at his death where rising nationalism and some very strong leaders wanted to gain more control over their respective constituent republics in the Yugoslavian state, which led to, as I was saying, many bloody conflicts. No idea.
Serbia is 81 billion.
GDP of Serbia is 81 billion in comparison to what? The UK?
The UK is 3.38 trillion. What is GDP?
The Yugoslavian history stuff is bucket list for me. Oh, speaking of which, got a tank over there. But this stuff is bucket list for this man. What is it?
Red Star Belgrade. This is it.
Straight back to the football.
Bucket list football.
Wait. Look at this Yugoslavian war hero. Criminal. Just a casual tank outside your football stadium. This is what happens out here. Absolute crook, mate. Absolute crook. Wonder if it's seen any Yugoslavian war action, and now it sits pride of place. Nothing like intimidating your opposition with a tank. Does it get any more Serbian, Will?
It doesn't get much more Serbian.
Stood on a tank.
It feels pretty Serbian. Not that I've been here before.
Might be smoking a cigarette. There's a church over there. Sat on a tank over here. And you got your Red Star football stadium over there. Oh.
You're right, mate.
Yeah, it's the precarious route down. I think the road's better in Yugoslavia.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Oh, you don't remember?
Some say that it never existed.
Really?
Yeah.
No roads.
The country?
Yeah.
What do you think about Yugoslavia?
I'll tell you what I think about points where people meet these days. Our famous writer, Volslav Pekic, he says a rich and well-educated black man is closer to rich and educated white man than to poor and uneducated black man.
Okay.
Yeah, so you know it's not important.
Not quite sure what the message is there.
Yep.
I don't think I understand.
Yeah, okay.
I don't understand.
Try reading Virginia Woolf.
Yeah, okay. Virginia Woolf.
Yeah, exactly. Doris Lessing, sentimentalism
Mm-hmm.
is harmful because it Opa.
Oh.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. It would be. It's still a political issue. You know?
Yeah.
No one knows what to do. Because everybody involved in that, most of the people involved in that story are still alive.
Yes.
Quite too much.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry. But now I know. Yeah.
I told you, the questions.
Yes. I won't ask anyone again. Now, on reflection of this clip and watching it back and doing a bit of research, I think the driver meant that in Yugoslavia, class mattered more than identity. Perhaps he meant that a rich person would have shared more in common with other rich people or people of higher status, maybe in the party, as they would in a socialist system, than with people of their own group, their own ethnicity, their own subcultural upbringing. Now, whilst the words alone sounded quite odd to me in that instance, and maybe I've made a bit of a fool of myself, on reflection, this does now make complete sense.
He's saying I think he was probably the most mythical taxi driver ever.
Certainly interesting.
Everything was like an analogy. What did he say? He was like a black man, a rich black man gets on well with
They're closer to a rich, wealthy black man than like I don't even know.
let's not go into that. Yeah. Anyway. Eastern City Gate. I know this is pretty iconic part of Belgrade skyline, I suppose, but it seems to have gone absolutely viral on my explore page and stuff, so we thought we'd come out and have a look. Some typical Yugoslavian architecture. Really, really cool. It's like 3 buildings in a circular shape, and they're all like staggered up. And look at that, there's even a little Yugo there to top it all off. Must be in Yugoslavia.
Yeah, I reckon you would. You'd probably see both stadiums.
Yeah.
Is this what you had in mind from your lad's holiday?
Yeah, you probably get quite the varying levels of how well things have been kept. Like if you look at the windows there, some like about halfway up.
No.
Are like
you can't go this
just
way.
awful, and then if you look at ones just a few down, like they're kind of maintained.
Varying levels of decay we've deduced, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. I concur.
I mean, the buildings, that's got to be the 80s, so it's 40 years old. But yeah, I think you either sort of, you know me, we love this sort of stuff. We love the sort of brutalist, socialist architecture, but for some, So it's a very poorly aged piece of design, which I can see. It's absolutely a bit of me. We've got a Lada, we've got a Yugo, and we've got a Zhiguli. Is it a Zhiguli? Should we have a look? Oh no, it's another Zastava. Product of Yugoslavia. 2 Zastavas, look.
The
Thoughts?
Eastern City Gate was built in got finished building in 1976.
Okay.
But the facade was never completed.
What's the facade?
Like the outer bit, that makes it.
Oh, what, for all of them?
That's what it says here.
Okay.
The facade was never fully completed.
1976. 1976, I wasn't far off.
No,
It
you
wasn't
weren't far off.
Welcome to Fun Radio.
Alright guys, it's our last day in Serbia. It's been quite the adventure and I haven't quite been able to film as much as I would have wanted to for a few reasons which I hopefully would have delved into using some narration rather than vlogging into the camera. But there was one final stop that we can take as the final goodbye from Serbia, and something which has been on my list for a very long time. The legendary Gen X Tower. Take a look at that. The Gen X Tower was a large, as you can tell, a very large scale residential and commercial architectural project. So I believe the left side of the building is residential apartments, as provided to you by the Yugoslavian state, I'm sure. And then the right hand side was a commercial space for a state company called Gen X, which is how it gets its legendary name. That circular feature at the top there, sort of a UFO looking shape, is was a restaurant which now lies abandoned. Would have really liked to have gone inside, but I believe there's security around the building, so I'm not going to try my luck this time. Construction of the tower started in 1972, was completed in 1979 by, designed by architect Mihailo Mitrovic, and was designed to be a welcoming and imposing landmark, which, as it still remains today, welcoming visitors coming along from the main road from the airport to the centre of Belgrade. This is also known not only as the Gen X Tower, but as the Western Gate. And yeah, we saw it on the way from the airport, and it certainly gives you a striking welcome. Now, what's interesting, as I'm walking around, the building was designated I believe it's what the Serbs refer to as just a cultural or significant monument, but protected monument, but doesn't look to be particularly well maintained. Obviously the building is imposing from a distance, but when you get up close you can see all the lovely all sorts, broken brick, water, and abandoned frontages. I don't know if we can go inside or not, but as I say, I'd rather not take my chances with the Serbian security guards, to be honest. Walking around it is a bit of a shame. A protected monument is sort of left to die, really. Oh look, we've got some locals. Let's see what they're talking about.
10 times.
10 times to the top?
Yes. Yes.
Can we go in?
Yeah, they say it's good security. There's one
Oh,
person.
very good.
Really?
Very good view.
You.
Can you where is the security?
I can. We can show you.
Does he take money to go in?
I don't know. If he wants.
They said no.
He said he will lost his job.
Anyone fancy going through the hole?
Can he see?
Oh.
No, I guess he can't.
Well, it was worth a try, but also exactly what I expected. Just offered money, and the response is no corruption. So we're not paying to get in. So if you want to come here, just look at it from the outside, and you can't come in, unfortunately. But yeah, still great to see. Look at this, guys, a little Yugoslavian nugget painting
Some, I don't know what this is supposed to represent. Maybe they're doves there. Doves always a symbol of peace, I suppose. And there's a Serbian inscription there with the date 1979, which was when the building was completed. Maybe, you know, just explaining the completion of the Western Gate in 1979. There you go. That's a nice little sign of a protected cultural monument. Independence from the Soviet Union and played a leading role in forming the non-aligned movement. Tito's leadership brought stability and economic growth. But after his death in 1980, rising nationalism and economic challenges led to tensions. By the early 1990s, these tensions erupted into several regional conflicts, and Yugoslavia dissolved into separate independent nations, which have more or less ever since carved their own paths, such as in this case, Serbia.
It would have been cool to go inside, but we don't want the police called. So.
No, as I said, I don't particularly feel like dealing with Serbian police, to be honest. So, until next time. Cheers, boys.
Cheers.